welcome to race number 4 of the RGTC GT3 World Tour. Today we are in for some spectacular racing. We've definitely got some spectacular weather, and this track needs no introduction. We've had some fantastic races out here. So there's some nice twisty turns, some long straights. So cars are going to be tested, the drivers are going to be tested, and I think it's going to end up being a really entertaining day out here today. But nonetheless, let's move out to the track and talk you through the grid lineup for today's race. And here is the start lineup, or the grid lineup for today's race here at Trial Mountain in the USA. In pole we have Luca Margoni in the Honda Red Bull NSX. In position 2, Tommy Lee Mäkinen in the Mitsubishi Evo. In position number 3, Mattis Jalbert in the Genesis. Tom Gamble in position number 4 in the Aston Martin. Then in position 5, Luke Bennett in the BMW M6 Sprint. Position 6 held by Sebastian Ash in the VW Beetle GT3. In position 7, Maxime Martin or Max Martin in the AMG Mercedes. Position 8 held by Miguel Molina in the 458 Ferrari. Position 9, Nick Cassidy in the Jaguar F-Type. 10th is Bill Oberlin in the BMW M3 GT3, and in 11th, Jack Hawksworth in the Wood One Tom's Lexus. Position number 12 is Maximilian Goetz in the other AMG Mercedes. In position 13, David Schumacher in the Ford Mustang GT. In position 14, Oliver Hart in the Chevy Corvette. 15th is Tujio Matsuda in the Nissan Nismo GTR, and in 16th, Tommy Pintos in the McLaren. 17th is Miguel Ramos in the Haas Renault, and in 18th, Mark Wilkins in position number 18 in the Hyundai. 19th is me, Normsy, driving the Subaru BRZ. And finally, the quickest driver on the track last week with the fastest lap of the race, winning the race as well, getting 21 points, is Fabio Scherer. He's going to be one to watch out here with those long straights. But that's it for the lineup for today. Let's get ready to race. And here we are, Tri Mountain, just about to get started. The countdown is a go and the race is on. Luca Margoni revving a bad race last week, getting punted off the track and ending up finishing last. That car definitely last place material, definitely not. So he should be having a good race out here today. As you can see, he is pulling out a bit of a gap already on Mattis Jalbert in that Genesis. Luke Bennett closely behind in the M6, but it's Luca Margoni leading the race so far at Trial Mountain with the Red Bull Honda, and looking very, very strong. He was doing a really good job of defending last week against some really quick cars out there, and it kept him, it kind of held him up for a while. Just his racecraft really on the point with the way he is able to hold the cars back. He's able to kind of work through what he needs to get through on the track, and at the same time keep another eye on the rear view and able to defend really effectively while putting up really quick laps. So we'll see how he does out here today at Trial Mountain. Long straights out here, so the cars that have got at a high top end will get a bit of an advantage there. But there are twisty sections too, with the cars that are more set up for a handling based performance. They'll have an advantage through those sections. So it is going to get pretty interesting as we get through the race. A little bit of a twitch by Luca Margoni coming through that bend, but able to keep the car on the track, and no mess, no fuss, stays in first. Mattis Jalbert still on his tail, with Luke Bennett breathing down hard on his neck down there. In fourth position also is the Jaguar of Cassidy. Oh, Cassidy spinning that back end out, just about getting the Jaguar off the track there and giving a advantage to Max Martin, who's in the AMG behind him. 3 wide coming through here. It's Martin, Jalbert and Bennett really gambling with their race results here, coming on through that section in 3 wide. That's not really a smart thing to do at any race at any time, but obviously having raced with each other quite often, they're pretty sure about the other driver's skill level. So maybe there's an element of that. But Max Martin able to take up a couple of positions through there and into second spot behind Luca Margoni. Luca in position number 1, setting the fastest lap of the race as well in lap 1, 2 minutes 02.801. So there he is there. Luca Margoni, quickest man on the track for the first lap of the race at least, and we think that there's definitely going to be a charge by a lot of other drivers out there to see if they can get that extra point. So they'll be gunning for that 202.801. At the moment it is Maxime Martin, or Max Martin, really challenging for that position, and he gets the Mercedes into first position. And Luke Bennett now also, he's moved into position number 3 behind Luca Margoni, getting a little bit twisty there through that section was the Honda. That's going to give Luke Bennett a little bit of a push to get in front of the Honda. He's probably watching that and seeing that the car might not be particularly planted through the tighter turns, and that's going to give the BMW an advantage through those twisty sections. But I suppose we're about to see how they compare with one another on the straight as they take the right-hander onto the start-finish straight here, the long straight, and we'll see if the BMW can get past here. He should be able to get onto the slipstream of Lucas Honda, but looks like he's playing it safe, or either that or Marconi's Honda has got more pace than the M6. I'm not sure if that is the case or not, but it is looking like he's holding him off pretty easily. I would have thought the BMW would have at least made up some ground while being in the slipstream. Didn't seem to get that done. So the Honda, as we saw in the previous race, was pretty good on the fast straights. So that is where it's going to be more difficult for the other cars to get past. It's a really streamlined vehicle, that too, nice and low, pretty wide as well. So and all in all, its performance is really good with that mid-engined layout that it's got. So quite a tough car to get in front of, and when you've got somebody with the caliber of Luca Margoni behind the wheel, it is definitely going to be even more difficult. But Luke Bennett taking a look down the inside. I'm not sure if he's going to get it done with the pace of that Honda, but the BMW kind of in that side draft at the moment. Is he going to take it? He's definitely taking a look. He's got that pedal mashed. Luca Margoni forced to stay on the outside. The BMW taking the inside line right next to the curb. He gets it in front, and Luca Margoni has to concede second place to Luke Bennett. So what a race so far up front here. Margoni had the quickest lap of the race. I didn't see that Maxime Martin has put down an even quicker one, a 154.987. So the AMG that's in first position now currently holding the quickest lap of the race. So there's Cassidy in the Jaguar. He's hanging in like he did in the previous race as well. Just hang on and stuck with the top front runners. This is quite a long race as well, 16 laps, so that is going to definitely test the cars out here with their fuel consumption as well. So obviously the heavier the car is on fuel, the more time it takes to get the car out of the pits, because you need to put more fuel in. So let's see how this pans out. We've got the Jaguar ahead of the Aston Martin at the moment, and we know that Tom Gamble is a really quick driver. The Aston Martin definitely capable. That's actually got the quickest lap of the race for a couple of races back, so we definitely know that it's got the pace as well. The Jaguar not quite getting the finishes that the Aston Martin has got so far, if I recall correctly, but that is the man that we got to worry about at the moment. Fabio Scherer, the quickest man on 2 of the races so far, winning 2 of the races and getting fastest laps on 2 of them as well. So even on the one of the races he did not win, he got the quickest lap. So he's racking up the spare points, and that is going to make him very, very dangerous in the runnings of this competition. In position 7 is Mathis Jalbert in the Genesis. He's got the Beetle and Maximilian Goetz in the Mercedes behind him. It's looking like he's got a decent pace as well. Sebastian Goetz is in the SLS Mercedes. Nice looking car that. Has seemed to have some erratic finishes though, not really consistently within a certain finishing range. So obviously it's got its strengths and weaknesses. Some tracks it's obviously going to do a lot better than on others, but that obviously comes down to setup. So many things that are factored in with these races: ride height, vehicle grip, front and rear weight distribution and so on. Oh, the BMW of Bill Auberlen all sideways, trying to keep ahead of David Schumacher's Mustang. He does get that right, but it looks like David might have the run on him here on that on the long straight because of that little twitch that he had coming out of the final turn onto the start-finish straight. Yes, he has. Schumacher moves ahead, but Bill Auberlen fighting back for it. The BMW on the inside, now on the outside, but has to drop back and let the Mustang through. The Mustang on a better line. Oliver Hart also not a driver to be messed with. He's shown he has got a lot of skill as well with the Chevy, and he's had some decent finishes. Miguel Molina also in the mix there. A big bunch of cars here together, all running tightly packed, but the Ferrari of Molina getting past the Chevy of Oliver Hart, moving into position number 12. It's still Maxime Martin leading the race, Luke Bennett in second and Cassidy in third. Oh, that means the Aston Martin has got ahead of the Jaguar in the front of the proceedings in the race. Here we'll move right up to the front there quickly. We'll see Fabio Scherer still in sixth position, running now behind running now behind Luca Marconi. But I'm mistaken. It's Bennett. Tom Gamble in the Aston Martin. I'm getting the drivers mixed up. But Tom Gamble in the Aston Martin still chasing Nick Cassidy's Jaguar. And it's Bennett in the BMW who's moved up into second position. I wonder what happened there. He definitely wasn't in the runnings earlier on, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, lots of changes in the lineup here. But Maxime Martin on the front of the pack with a 154.987, and the BMW, which I thought might not have the pace after struggling a little bit earlier on to get past the Honda, has now got in front of Gamble and Cassidy. So Gamble in the Aston has got past the Jaguar, as I said now. The Aston ahead of the Jaguar, the BMW ahead of the Aston and the Jaguar, and now trying to see if he can catch up with Maxime Martin, who's leading the race in the AMG Mercedes. Petronas Mercedes up front, then the BMW Sprint M6 in position number 2. But Tom Gamble looking particularly fast on the uphill here with the Aston Martin. It looks like he's got the draft on the back of Luke Bennett, definitely getting closer and closer, right on his bumpers now. Bennett having to defend, and while he's doing that, Maxime Martin is pulling out a bigger lead, while Luke Bennett is concentrating on the guy in the rear view mirror, Tom Gamble in the Aston Martin. Nice looking car, that BMW. But Maxime Martin going into the pits. Just here's his pit crew, just running out and getting ready with the tyres. Luca Marconi in third position now. You can see, we've got the side-by-side battle going on here between Bennett and Gamble. Gamble moves up into position number 1. Luke Bennett outbraking him onto the turn, back into leading position with the BMW. What a piece of driving by Luke Bennett, absolutely fantastic. And you can see Gamble having to back off, and now the gap is a number of car lengths between the two of them. So really fantastic, aggressive driving by Luke Bennett, aggressive but clean, I got to say, and he is out in front with that BMW, and doesn't look out of place at all, leading the pack with the Aston Martin of Tom Gamble. We do know he is really fast. He did gain ground on the BMW really quickly, so he'll probably do that again, and then we'll have another fight between the two of them later on in the race, I'm presuming, depending on what happens with all the fuel stops, which are going to be happening pretty soon. We've seen a couple of the drivers going in already. So Luke Bennett leading the race in the M6 Sprint on the brakes. You can see those front discs glowing red as they come out of the shadows. Tom Gamble chasing. You can see the distance between the two cars is definitely closing down. Luke Bennett has got all the work in the world to do now to try and keep that green Aston Martin monster in the rearview mirror. But it looks like they are both going into the pits now. Yes, they are. Bennett and Gamble. Marconi running into the pits as well, as is Ash. And David Schumacher runs in as well. It looks like just about everybody is coming into the pits. Maxime Martin is out of the pits already. So looks like he is about to get onto the start-finish straight, and then let's see how many places he makes up. You can see the fuel going in on the other drivers at the moment, and it looks like he'll stay in front, but he's got Fabio Scherer in the Ford GT behind him now, and that is going to be a dangerous spot to be in. I didn't see if Scherer had gone into the pits or not. Oh, Maxime Martin coming out in front of Luke Bennett. Really must have put down a quick lap in order to get ahead of the BMW while he was in the pits getting his tyres changed and his fuel thrown in. But Bennett not quick enough in the pits, and he ends up losing the position to Maxime Martin. So it's Martin up ahead. Martin still holding the quickest lap of the race at 154.987. With BMW in second, that's Luke Bennett, and in third we have Fabio Scherer now in the Ford GT, and it's going to be position number 2 for the Ford GT now as he passes Luke Bennett. And this is where the action is going to be now. Two very, very quick cars, two very, very determined drivers. Maxime Martin in the AMG and Fabio Scherer in the Ford GT. You can see Martin coming through the S's. You can see how smooth that car is, how neatly he takes it through the lines, over the curbs, nice and smoothly. But it looks like Fabio Scherer is struggling a little bit in the turny sections with the Ford. The BMW is sticking with him. It's on the straights that this car is absolutely lethal, and maybe suffering a little bit in the turny sections, just the chassis set up differently. But Maxime Martin leading the race. You can see Fabio Scherer slipping in behind him as they run down the straight. Let's see if Scherer can get that Ford ahead of the AMG. What a race so far. He's got it right under the tail fin, right on the bumpers of the Petronas AMG of Maxime Martin. He's got it all to do now. Fabio Scherer putting on the pressure with the Ford. We're going to keep our eyes on this battle between these two cars. Maxime Martin from Germany, Fabio Scherer from Switzerland. And they are glued together in the front of the race. Just behind them you can see Tom Gamble in the Aston Martin has got past Luke Bennett's BMW. So eventually fought his way past the BMW was really good at defending against him a little bit earlier on, but somewhere or other the Aston Martin has found a gap to get through. But Fabio Scherer struggling to find a way past the AMG Mercedes of Maxime Martin at this point. Oh, sorry, I said Maxime Martin was a German. He's not. He's from Belgium. He's a Belgian driver. Colours are the same on those flags, with the orientation of the stripes completely different. So getting my flags mixed up. Apologies to all the German and Belgian viewers for that. But it's Maxime Martin who is holding off Fabio Scherer's Ford GT. Oh, maybe not. He's gone too deep into the corner, and Fabio Scherer being gifted position number 1 by Maxime Martin. Just too much pressure for him by the Ford GT. Fabulous driving by Fabio Scherer, putting on the pressure so much that it just forces an error from his competing driver. But let's see now, once that Ford is up in position number 1, if he can actually lay down a quicker lap than Martin did. Martin's lap still stands at 154.987. That is definitely going to be a difficult one to beat. Gamble, though, seeming to be quicker than the AMG in the Aston Martin, so he's gaining ground on Martin at the moment. The gap growing a little bit further and further apart between the driver in position number 1, Fabio Scherer, and Maxime Martin in the AMG in position number 2. You can see the gap increasing there. Tom Gamble trying to keep up with the AMG. That seems to have a little bit more pace up the hill. So very tightly fought race here, but I think I'm not sure if we're going to have a stalemate here between these cars, because the AMG quicker on certain sections, the Aston Martin quicker on others, and they seem to balance each other out, and there's no way of the Aston Martin actually getting the chance to get in front of Martin because of that. But at the moment, Fabio Scherer in the Ford GT leading the race. There he is, the number 4 black Ford GT. Really showing everybody how it's done. Fantastic car. Very good driver by the look of it. Consistently getting faster laps and winning a few of the races so far as well. There will be another pit stop to happen before the end of this race, so whether that is going to switch things up a bit, I don't know, but we will find out in due course. Let's have a look a little bit further down the grid. How are we doing? Luke Bennett seeming to be way off the pace now. The front 3 really out of grasp for him. Then it's me in position number 5 in the little Subaru. We'll run with me for a bit unless we see a change in those top 3, which I'm doubting we will. Those 3 the Ford of Scherer just seeming to outclass the pace of the other cars, and Martin and Gamble in a stalemate battle. Gamble not able to get in front of Martin, so we'll stay with me for a second and see how we do with this little Subaru. Does seem to have a lot of pace, holds the road really well because of how light it is, so able to get through the twisty sections really quickly. Now faster than the heavier cars that have to battle those G-forces, but as you can see, closing in on Luke Bennett quite quickly with the BRZ. The BMW now going to have a Subaru approaching in the rear view mirror, really closing the gap quite quickly. As you can see, the turny sections are really the strong point of the Subaru. Luke Bennett defending. he goes a bit deep. I keep it wide on the outside. Looking for the undercut on the BMW. He's a bit too far ahead for me to be able to do that, but so take the outside line as he moves right. And into fourth position, Luke Bennett drops to fifth. And the Subaru BRZ moves into position number 4. This car, though, does tend to let go from time to time. So you do have to be careful how you use the throttle coming out of turns, because it will spin around on you with no notice whatsoever. Maxime Martin still with that quickest lap of the race, a 154.987. Fabio Scherer hasn't been able to top that, even though he's running in P1. But I don't think that is the focus for him at the moment. He just got the car into P1, and now he's just going to relax out there while everybody else fights for second behind him. Let's have a look at the battle at front. Oh, the gap has actually gotten a bit smaller between Scherer and Martin. I'm not sure if Scherer has gone off the track or if he's just slacked off the pace a little bit. Maybe he's got tyre wear issues, I'm not sure. But definitely not running away with it like we thought he would earlier on. Martin really in the runnings here. And there they go into the pits. I think Gamble has stayed out. Yes, he has. Tom Gamble in the Aston Martin has stayed out. Scherer and Martin and me, we're all in the pits. So Gamble trying to take a gamble and see if he can get a quicker lap down when he comes in. Hopefully he'll have a quick pit stop and he can come out in front and win the race. So we'll see if that happens or not. Bennett stays out as well in the BMW. And, oh no, he couldn't have stayed out. There he is in position number 2. Oh, it must have been a really quick pit stop actually, because there's only a couple of laps left in the race. So that's probably what Tom Gamble's betting on. If he keeps the car out, he'll have a really quick stop, because he's only going to need to put in enough laps, fuel for whatever laps are left. So if he keeps it out longer, his last pit stop will be significantly shorter than the others. Well, depending on if they've run out of all their fuel, but he's in P1 at the moment. He's definitely going to be going in either this lap or the next one, and then we'll see what happens after that. A beautiful car though, the Aston Martin. Really great paint job the team's done on that car. Scherer has moved into second, so we'll stick with him. Bennett in the BMW right behind, but we'll stick with Fabio Scherer because we want to see if he will get out in front of Tom Gamble as he comes out of the pits, or if Tom Gamble made up enough ground to get the Aston Martin out of the pits in front. Obviously shorter pit stop because he's got to put less fuel in than the other cars probably would have as well. So we'll see in a second if he was able to do that. There's Fabio Scherer rounding the final turn onto the start-finish straight. Tom Gamble looks like he has come out into P1. How close is this going to be? There's Gamble. Or did he go in at all? I don't think he did. He might have stayed out. I wasn't watching. We were having a look at some of the other cars on the track. At the moment, I'm not sure whether he did or not. Fabio Scherer far back down the track, so I'm presuming there's definitely no way that Tom Gamble would have come out that far ahead from his pit stop. He's almost at the end of the straight. Fabio Scherer just entering the straight. I'm not sure what's happened here. If Tom Gamble did go in, his race strategy has worked out perfectly, and he will probably be winning this race with many car lengths to spare. I'm really not sure though. Oh yes, here he comes into the pits. I've got my wires crossed once again, so we'll see how we go here. Let's move on to Fabio Scherer again as he comes down. We're going to rerun what we did last lap. Fabio Scherer coming through the final turn now onto the start-finish straight. You can see the clear road ahead of him. Looking at Tom Gamble's fuel level, it is at 4% at the moment. As the fuel starts going in, he's put in only 30%, so he should be coming out now. I don't think he's he's definitely not been able to get ahead of Fabio Scherer. Fabio Scherer into position number 1. Maxime Martin in position number 2, way back behind. You can see there's several car lengths, but oh, here I am in position number 3. P3 after my pit stops. That is a surprise. Chasing Maxime Martin now in the BRZ Subaru. A little bit of a nick on the side of the track there on the curb by me, but here we go, chasing the driver in position number 2. Very quick car there, so it's going to be difficult to get past and keep it there, but nonetheless taking a look in the slipstream now behind Maxime Martin, coming up under the tunnels up the hill. You can see the Mercedes getting away, lots and lots of power on their car, so the BRZ just not able to keep up on the straight. But here is where it comes into its own in the turns. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there. Almost lost control of the Subaru while I'm trying to chase Maxime Martin for position number 2. Chasing P2. Going to really have to push the car hard because Martin has outclassed me in a couple of the races already. So it's going to be a difficult one to be taking it wide, so I can take it a nice tight turn onto the start-finish straight, get the power down nice and early. But still, the Subaru unable to close the gap. And behind me now is Tom Gamble in the Aston Martin, a car that has also proved to be quicker than the Subaru. But oh, contact coming through the turn, massive contact. Oh my word, crashed off the track. Managed to turn it around though. I'm not sure if Tom Gamble will hit the brakes there, seeing the incident ahead, but he stays in 4th position. He managed to stay in 3rd. Maxime Martin running away now in the AMG. There he is, miles and miles ahead of me now, as he now tries to focus on the car ahead of him. He doesn't have to worry about me hassling him anymore. It's the final lap of the race. Maxime Martin in 2nd, chasing Fabio Scherer. Scherer proving that he's, unless there's some kind of horrendous accident or mistake on his part, he's definitely going to take P1 here. P2, Maxime Martin. I'm running in 3rd at the moment, but there's no way for me to make up that ground, I don't think. Maxime Martin running in 2nd. Safe from attack from me. Fabio Scherer in position number 1. Safe from attack from Maxime Martin, who's in second position. So it looks like another victory for Fabio Scherer in the Ford GT. Maxime Martin just probably trying to keep it clean and tidy now, not really going to push and put the car in danger of getting any damages, because although he finishes in second position, he has the quickest lap of the race. So it's 20 points for Fabio Scherer in position number 1, 20 points for Maxime Martin, who gets the quickest lap of the race. I'm in third in the BRZ, and coming down the track is Tom Gamble with the Aston Martin finishing up in position number 4. What a race. Here's the final finish order for the entire grid. So Fabio Scherer finishing in first. Maxime Martin with the quickest lap of the race, getting 20 points as well. Then it's me in position number 3 in the Subaru. Tom Gamble in the V8 Vantage in 4th. Luke Bennett in the the M6 GT3 in 5th. Sebastian Ash in the Beetle in 6th. Miguel Molina in the 458 Italia Ferrari coming in 7th. David Schumacher's Mustang in 8th. Maximilian Gut in the SLS AMG finishes up in 9th position, with Nick Cassidy in 10th in the F-Type. Behind them, Tommy Mackinnon in 11th with the Lancer Evolution. A much better race for him out there today. 650S McLaren, driven by Tommy Pintos, finishing in 12th. 13th is Bill Oberlin in the N3 GT, with the NSX of Luca Margoni in position number 14 behind him. In 15th is Miguel Ramos in the Renault RS01, with the Genesis behind him of Mark Wilkins. That's the Hyundai Genesis. Mark Wilkins in 16th there. 17th, Mathis Jalbert in the Genesis X, the two Genesis cars running together. Then the Corvette C7 of Oliver Hart finishing in 18th. I'm quite surprised about that. I think maybe the heavy Chevy being very thirsty. Maybe that's what the problem was. Then we got Jack Hawksworth in the Lexus RCF in 19th position, and then Tujio Matsuda in the GTR finishing in last. So he'll be on pole for our next race, which is going to be at Willow Springs in the USA. That is a track I really do not like, so I'm not sure if the BRZ will be carrying me into the top 10 there or not, but I suppose that we'll find out next week. So until the next race, guys, drive safely, take care, we'll see you on the track.